there's some research now on basically like what's becoming. Is that actually what the term holding space means? I've never understood that term. I was like, the fuck are you talking about holding
But the way
space?
I like to say,
But that makes sense. It's a space for the emotion to be, and you can be around it, but you don't have to like take it. Yeah, you don't have to be in it.
So it's like you're holding a space, right? Like
that makes sense.
For the emotion to be there, but not like.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like that's a very helpful visual, right? So it's not just like if you're in a helping profession and having to talk to people who are dealing with serious shit all the time. You may be just talking to a friend. You don't have to you don't have to be a full empath about it and like, now you can't sleep at night because you're worried about your friend.
In fact, I feel it's unhelpful to be that sort of person.
How so?
If you are the sort of person that everything somebody tells you, or you read the news and you hear something terrible that's happened, and then you just can't stop thinking about it, and you keep thinking, oh, I feel so awful that I'm then now living my life in this state of freeze where I can't live, I can't do anything, I can't sleep, I can't eat. I think it's unhelpful to be that sort of person, and you will be less effective at putting good into the world if you take it on that strongly.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, do you agree with the sort of loose definition of empathy versus compassion that I'm kind of dancing around here? Or is that not actually a helpful way to look at it?
I think there's just too many definitions for words out there, so we just have to define exactly what we're speaking about.
But if you were dealing with a client who maybe had a pattern of, I don't know, people pleasing, and maybe you've covered some stuff with them about how they've grown up and all that, but their day-to-day behavior is such that when their husband is mad about something, instead of fight, flight, or freeze, they choose fawn, and then they just kind of cower and like wear the person's emotion. And then basically the way I see it, maybe this is wrong, you base your state of calm and happiness on how that person feels. And once they feel okay, then you're okay. How would you talk about this concept of empathy and shield or protective gear and all that with them?
Well, when your partner or your friend is struggling, you struggle right alongside them. So you're falling to the depths of how they feel, meaning maybe you can't sleep, you can't stop crying, you can't breathe well, your body feels awful, right? You keep thinking about the situation over and over and over. If you're doing it to that extent, then there's no way for you to be that helpful in that moment.
What's a better way to be then?
A better way to be is to hold the space for it. So tell me more. Okay, how are you feeling? Okay, what's that like? How do you think I could be helpful here? What do you think you need right now? Right? And so it's letting them express whatever it is that they're feeling, not judging, like making sure they don't feel judged in any way, making sense of why they feel that way. Oh, that kind of makes sense because like, didn't you say that how you grew up kind of makes you sensitive to this sort of thing? So makes sense you might feel that way, right? Is that why you feel that way? Helps them make more sense of the emotion, and then be like, all right, well, what do you think? Do you feel okay now that you've talked about it? Or do you need something else? Like, and so you're helping them think about it.
You're helping them navigate the whole difficult situation without taking on the full set of responsibility and emotions associated with it.
And I feel like if you do it that way, then hopefully what happens is that in a moment where you crumble and you're at your worst and you're experiencing it full on, that person doesn't go to where you are either. They can stay in a place that's more neutral so that they can then help you. Because if you're both crumbling and you can't think at all and you're both crying your faces off, neither person can think of what to do.
Yeah, and I think if it's something really, really difficult and it's like deep grief, or it's, I don't know, a loss of someone really special, or you lost your job, or something like really life-shifting in a bad way, if you both fall apart because you just take on the other person's emotions completely and accept it as your responsibility to ride that with them, then you're going to have a really, really, really difficult time. Actually, maybe what the relationship needs in that situation is for one person to be able to like hold space and help navigate, but carry the torch of like, look, I still have my job. I'll cover these things, and you know, it's okay. Like I'll handle all these things as you kind of go through the process that you need to go through because you're grieving or whatever it is. You might be sleeping like shit, but I'm going to sleep well, and I'm going to protect my mental health. I'm going to make sure I still go to yoga. I'm going to make sure that you can't be a support network for me. So I'm being proactive and letting my friends know. And so like I'll lean on them a little bit more. That's like a more mature way to go through this process, right? Because especially past like 35, like the life shit gets really intense. And sometimes we go through these things, right? And yeah, I didn't even think about it from that perspective until you were talking about it. Like it's like risk management to learn the skill of not going deep into your partner's emotions, right?
Yeah, or friends or anybody.
Or friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.